Hi, Misha here, and while this video will be featuring the Italian Beretta PMX-S, that's not really the reason I wanted to do it. In fact, I have two. First, a gentleman known on YouTube as Straight Line USA on my personal Misha channel donated some ammunition, so I wanted to try it out. Second, while we have tested this out with the folding brace from A3 Tactical with J-Row, Fox has not actually had a chance to shoot the PMX with the brace, and his initial opinions of this back Mother's Day 2023 were less than spectacular. So, kind of curious if that changes his mind. So we'll do that. But first, if you would like to help the channel, you could just send us ammo too. It's much appreciated. Again, this wasn't a sponsorship deal. Nothing was asked of us. That was just a donation to help the channel go. Or, liking, sharing, subscribing, or Patreoning is great too. But with no further ado, let's try out the 9x19 Luger Parabellum or NATO ammunition that Straight Line sent us. Alright, let's try this Fenix 115 grain 9mm out of the Beretta. So the initial go was fine. Of course, with the brace deployed and used, makes a big difference. And wasn't sure this Fenix or Fenix, it's actually spelled F-E-N-I-X. While it is made in Michigan, or here in the USA, it is technically remanufactured. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but it looked clean, good brass case stuff. So let's keep on. Not bad. Held open. And for 115 grain, that was quite energetic. So yeah, cleared a bit there. And as I pointed out, it is pretty thumpy for 115 grain. Definitely doesn't feel underpowered, which is kind of what I'm looking for, or looking out for rather, when it comes to remanufactured stuff. But no, everything felt warm and consistent, not one that felt a lot more than the rest. So worked pretty well, even held the bolt back, no problem. And again, very helpful to keep the channel going. This wasn't the only ammunition that he sent us, but 9mm seemed like a good place to start. Alrighty, another mag of the Fenix through the Beretta. This pistol is pretty well stock. Of course, as I mentioned, I added the A3 brace, and to my mind, it really does help things a lot. But sometimes folks ask me what else I've done with guns. Not a whole lot. These are threaded 1/2x28 from the factory. I screwed on a 3-lug extension adapter from B+T. This is the hand stop it comes with. These are just, your generic cheapo covers. And the sights, the folding sights, are also B+T. I like them because they are low pro, don't add a lot of weight, and since really the PMX evolved from the B+T TP26, which itself of course evolved from the good old Tech 9, which itself was meant to be a replacement for the good old Carl Gustaf M45, the Swedish K. Yeah, there's kind of that connection there. I store a little bit in the pistol grip, and I just put a generic sling on. Several slings have been used. This is the standard Italian mag, polymer metal lined. But these aren't super common, and luckily, Berger and Tomat B&T translucent mags, all different sizes, fit and function perfectly. So, even though these aren't the cheapest in the world, at least they are available. And with that, I know one way to kind of see how the power is, because it feels pretty good with the brace out. However, let's try it the old-fashioned way. Let's try it with the brace folded. Just see how the recoil is. More, but not bad. Still not as pleasant. Surprise, surprise, right, guys? Held open. Yeah, it works as a traditional pistol, but not near as fun. But I thought it was worth trying out and kind of get a feel for the ammo. And it still felt solid. I was also curious if it would have short strokes or anything like that without having the kind of brace against it. But nope, it cycled fine as a pistol. And that really kind of gets us as a good jumping off point. Once more, I'm greatly appreciative to Straight Line. Yeah, not a paid thing, not a, hey, you have to advertise for us thing. Just sent to help the channel out. And that is definitely one way. And every round will be used. In fact, we have been using this 9mm and some other guns. For example, that Walther CCP M2 also ran through it the same day as this. But when Fox tried this out, it was only a pistol. In fact, no one was really making an arm brace for the PMX-S because they had just hit the market. So let's go back to May of 2023 and his initial thoughts, reviews, and, you know, it's kind of what we did with it.
Held open. Open.
So back to back with the Scorpion, what do you think?
Well, as you can tell on my Scorpion, I have changed the grip out for the same reason why I would want to change the grip out on the PMX. My hand just doesn't work on this. There's too much of a gap up here to minimize that recoil. Trigger is definitely a lot better on the PMX.
Definitely agree with Fox on the trigger. It would be hard to argue that it's not a better trigger compared with the Evo and many other guns of similar type out there. For one, it's metal. For another, it's serrated and quite wide. And third, it's just a good feeling, clean system.
So being able to find a place for my left hand was a little issue. That's why I just came back to really this mag well cut out here and gripped it. Once I did that, it made things a little better. But,
So Fox seemed to have issues with grip placement, both hands as a pistol. I really don't think I experienced that. Back at it with the PMX-S. Firing it with or without the brace deployed, I didn't notice awkwardness with my hands. Now, one thing Fox did point out, that it's light. I'm not going to say I picked this up and went, wow, that's heavy. But it's interesting that he picked up on it being light. To me, it kind of felt normal, like a metal receiver, not plastic. Then again, he does load his guns, and a lot of folks do load their guns down with a bunch of stuff, and I've got this pretty slim and trim. What do you think of the recoil impulse?
It's not bad, but I was shooting my Scorpion, and I do have a lot of attachments. I have an IR light and a laser on there, and a red dot. With all those attachments on the Scorpion, it was less recoil, but it's not bad for this. And this is a really light gun. This gun, PMX right out of the box, it is not a heavy pistol at all. I don't have complaints. Is it my favorite thing? Not at all. Open.
Firing his Scorpion, yeah, it is noticeably lighter just because it doesn't have all the stuff on it. But I don't think I feel like the recoil impulse is worse. To me, guns like the Scorpion or even like the HK USC, the UMP types, have more of a teeter-totter motion. This is more of a straight back inline. Maybe it's just preference, but I tend to like that more than the teeter-totter. But mileage can definitely vary. And again, during that first range day, we were shooting it as a strictly speaking pistol.
I can definitely respect and understand why Misha likes this, growing up around the Tech 9s. But I also didn't grow up in that 80s nostalgia good stuff era. Face it, guys, I live in the hills. I grew up out here. We didn't have Tech 9.
So at the end of the day, Fox really wasn't sold on this gun, but it wasn't because it was a Jam-O-Matic or inaccurate or anything like that. It just didn't seem to fit him well. But I suspected it was because it did not have any kind of arm brace or otherwise support on it. I grew up in a time when we shot Tech 9s that you would just kind of use the sling on the back as some kind of single point thing stretching out in front of you, and that's the best you had. The braces really did change the game for a lot of us and made guns like this more valid. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, J-Ro and I have already taken this out a couple of times with the brace, and we've expressed our opinions in those videos. But I've been wanting to get Fox out and see what he thinks, if it changes his mind or if he's just not a fan. And again, kind of want to run more of that Fenix ammo through it and see how it keeps on going. So, with no further ado, we'll stop doing the flashback recap portion and come to modern times.
Who are believed by most mainstream archaeologists to be the earliest human civilization on Earth. Approximately,
I think he means Nephilim.
You know what he's saying is true, right?
Recorded stories about powerful
I know that he thinks it's true.
who descended to Earth.
It's definitely true.
Then we'll let Fox try the PMX since he hasn't tried it with a brace on. So yeah, last time you shot it, it was right when it was new and straight in as a pistol. So with a brace,
Yeah, clearly you get more of what this gun was designed to be. With the brace, it feels good, it's comfortable. It kind of reminds me of like the CZ on its recoil, CZ Scorpion. It's not near as like a roller delay where it's really smooth. It does have a punch to it for a 9mm. But you know, it's a Tech 9.
Still not sure I agree with him on the Scorpion being a little gentle recoiler compared to this. I think I prefer this, but yeah. But if he's thinking of roller delays like the MP5, sure, yeah. Or, you know, like one of the MPXs from SIG. Yes, any of these direct blowback guns are going to have more rock and roll going on. But of course, the trade-off is simplicity, and that seems to be what I like. Definitely seems like having a brace on it, and maybe just some more time, he has warmed up to it more. But he still has a complaint, although it's a little different from the first time out.
I do like it a lot more. I will say the safety and fire lever is kind of dangerous. It almost like it needs to be filed down. If you're trying to use it like an AR switch where you're rolling your finger up, kind of hitting it like that, you can definitely see it's kind of sharp. And I didn't notice that before because when it was a pistol, I was just holding it out. But yeah, I would recommend upgrading that if it was like a daily.
And I've noticed you do that with quite a few of your guns. A lot of folks do. Changing the safety to kind of suit hands.
Very much so. It's normal.
Common thing.
Nothing against this gun.
I'm not sure dangerous is the right word. This is a very easy to use safety selector. You're not going to accidentally knock it, but I know what he's saying. Like, it might be uncomfortable to some. Again, I never noticed it, but hands are different, so I can respect that. But that would be something pretty easy to replace, change out, or even file down if you needed to, if it was hitting you. And of course, this is something we heard quite a bit with the Scorpion when it came out, so much so that some people deleted one of the two sides. But you know, your mileage may vary, just something to kind of look out for perhaps.
This is a perfect, I would, side-by-side gun, or just something, it's so lightweight, and you can fold it up, put it in a backpack, throw a little flashlight. But no, I do like it. I think it'd take a little getting used to. It is punchy, and it's probably just this metal brace. But yeah, a little punchy, but no, not a thing wrong with it.
And I do kind of like that, even though the lower is polymer on it, the receiver, the tube is metal. It's not an all poly gun.
Well, and your pick rail's metal on the top.
Charging handle's metal.
No, this is a cool gun.
It's a plane flying over. Mother, will they drop the bomb?
I would imagine they've got some accessories for them now as well.
It's just simple, solid. I think it's very traditional. Kind of reminds me of a grease gun. Like you said, it is definitely a Tech 9.
For sure.
I don't know. It's got that old-fashioned, just stupid, simple.
Yeah, it's like a mid-'80s gangster gun.
And I can say, after having shot at several different range sessions this year, it's 100% reliable. I cannot remember a single failure with either Beretta or B+T mags.
No, yeah.
If there was one, it was one.
I think it needs a red dot on it. And,
most decidedly, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're ready to roll. But no, this is a cool gun. Are any military or special agencies or anyone you know?
The Italian.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's been a couple others, but I think it's new enough that it's just kind of them right now.
Awesome, man. Well, I enjoyed shooting it. It's definitely a better experience with the brace on it than what it was before.
You don't say. So some final thoughts. The ammo worked perfectly, and that means this gun still has a perfect track record. And even now, I really can't remember of it jamming once. Even maybe not even holding open once. It just seems to be a very stable, reliable gun for everything else. I think the brace thing he was talking about, this is metal. They do make a polymer one, so that might help. They also make a cheek riser / rest you can put over, so maybe having something so he wasn't directly on there, or maybe different sides, so different height could help too. But while I don't foresee Fox running out and grabbing one of these, it does seem like he can appreciate it. It's just that he has other guns like the Evo, like the POF MP5, that already fill the 9mm pistol caliber pistol. It's like chicken fried chicken more. But a successful outing. He definitely enjoyed it more, and it's always fun to get out and run some rounds through and continue to prove this gun. I think this gun's a sleeper, the PMX-S. I really do. I like the military pedigree, but beyond that, I sincerely do find it fun. But as he pointed out last time, part of that could just be me and the history with the Tech 9 and the era I grew up in, and that this is kind of the Tech 9 I always wanted, because the Tech 9 was always cool in concept, but kind of slipshod in actual execution. Well, this is one, while it's not inexpensive, they actually sell for less than what used pre-ban or even ban era sometimes Tech 9s go for, AB10s, today. And can't really say anything wrong with it. And it could be one of those weird oddities, kind of like the Beretta ARX 100. Who knows? And being import. But it's definitely not going to be a safe queen for me. It'll come out more and more. And I think this is a good platform to test ammunition with, because I know it runs. I have several mags for it. And I'm not really concerned about parts breakages. Famous last words, I know. It'll break tomorrow. But no, it's been a fun little gun. You know, sometime soon we should try running it suppressed. We haven't got around to doing that yet. I think I still have some 147 grain out there too. But yeah, what do you think? It's interesting how a simple, relatively inexpensive thing like an arm brace can really transform the way a gun shoots. And it is amazing how much ammunition costs a firearms channel. So if you'd like to help support us, check out Patreon. We do apparently take donations, so that's another option. Or liking, sharing, subscribing, participating in live streams also help a lot. With that, this is Misha, and also on behalf of Fox, catch you very soon next time.